Hello, my amazing Code Unknown family, and welcome to this latest episode of the Declassified podcast. Now, this is a bit of a bonus episode to make up for the fact that the Oak Island video is still in production, but I'm making it as good as I can for you. So, I know it's frustrating, I know you're waiting, but trust me, it'll be worth it. But for now, we're going to talk about something truly weird. This podcast episode is all about the Watcher House mystery. It's all about a family who move into their dream home only to be stalked by creepy, anonymous letters. Is it the vengeful neighbour or a bored prankster? Or something far darker? There's only one way to find out, and that's to open this file and dive in. I want you to close your eyes and imagine this. You've just bought your dream home, a big, beautiful place in a quiet suburban neighbourhood. The kind of spot where kids ride their bike down the street and neighbours wave hello from their front porches. Everything feels perfect until one day you get a letter. It's not from a friend or even a neighbour. The letter is anonymous, and the person who wrote it says they've been watching your house for decades. They know things about you and your family, personal things, and the letters, well, they just keep on coming. It all started in June 2014. Derek and Maria were thrilled they'd just bought a 6-bedroomed colonial home in Westfield, New Jersey. This was their forever home, a step up in life. It had charm, it had history, and it was the perfect spot for their kids to grow up. But within days of closing the deal, the dream began to crumble. Derek received the first letter. It opened with the unsettling line, "Dearest new neighbour at 657 Boulevard, allow me to welcome you to the neighbourhood." The sender called themselves the Watcher, a figure who claimed they had been watching the house for decades. The letter went on to describe details about their home, its layout, and even their children. How could anyone know this? Understandably alarmed, the couple contacted the police, but nothing concrete came from the investigation. As more letters arrived, they grew darker and more sinister. Have they found what is in the walls yet? One read. Another asked, "Why are you here? I will find out." The family decided to hold off moving in. Instead, they poured money into renovations and desperately tried to sell the house. But the news of the letters leaked, and the home's reputation scared off buyers. Trapped financially and emotionally, they were stuck in a living nightmare. The letters weren't just creepy, they were calculated. The Watcher seemed to take joy in tormenting the family, even going as far as describing watching the children play and referring to them by nicknames. This sparked a wave of speculation. Who was the Watcher? Some believed it was a disgruntled neighbour, upset about the renovations disrupting their quiet street. Others thought it might be the previous owners, angry about selling the house. Then there were more outlandish theories. Could the Watcher be part of some bizarre local tradition for the greater good? And if you don't know what that is, go and search it. Or could it be a family obsessed with the history of 657 Boulevard, passing down this unsettling responsibility for generations? The family weren't willing to leave it to chance. They hired a private investigator and even forensic linguists to analyse the letters. The experts concluded that the writer was likely older and local, but no suspect was ever identified. To make matters worse, some began accusing Derek and Maria of fabricating the whole thing. Was it a ploy to back out of a mortgage they couldn't afford? Or were they simply unlucky victims of a truly disturbed individual? As the mystery deepened, the Westfield community turned against the family. Neighbours accused them of bringing unwanted attention to the quiet suburb. Online amateur sleuths dissected every detail, launching their own investigations into the family's property records and town history. One theory suggested the Watcher might not be working alone. Could this be the work of multiple people, a group with a twisted sense of tradition? Or was it simply a single disturbed person playing an elaborate game? The family filed a lawsuit against the previous owners, claiming they'd known about the Watcher but failed to disclose it. The case, however, was dismissed, and public scrutiny intensified. Their children faced teasing at the school. Their dream of becoming part of a community was shattered into a million pieces. The very place they had hoped to build their new life became a symbol of isolation and fear. Instead of finding a safe haven, they found themselves trapped in a nightmare that seemed impossible to escape. The house at 657 Boulevard eventually sold in 2019, but the family suffered a significant financial loss. Interestingly, the new owners haven't reported any letters from the Watcher. Was the family specifically targeted? Or has the Watcher just simply moved on? The case has even become a cultural phenomenon, inspiring documentaries, podcasts, and even a Netflix series. But the mystery remains unsolved, leaving behind more questions than answers. What makes this story so chilling is the personal nature of the threat. The Watcher didn't want any money or revenge. They wanted control, psychological dominance over a family who simply wanted to live their lives. The family, however, has moved on, but the trauma lingers. For Derek and Maria, the Watcher wasn't just a stalker. It was a constant reminder that sometimes the scariest threats aren't from strangers. They're from the shadows of our own communities. So who do you think the Watcher is? Could it have been a vengeful neighbour, a disturbed loner, or even someone from the family themselves? And what about those letters? What kind of person writes something so chilling and so detailed? Most importantly, what would you do if you found yourselves in their shoes? Would you fight to uncover the truth, or would you run, leaving it all behind? And that's it for today's bonus episode. If you've got your own theories about the Watcher, or maybe a mystery you think I should cover next, let me know. Stay curious, stay safe, and remember, the world is full of unanswered questions. Until next time, I'm Mike, signing off.